an American, where at least I...
Why are you trying to hide your name and badge number?
I am not.
You answer to me.
I do not.
I would like it if we could uphold the Constitution and allow freedom of press in our courtrooms.
Watch out, that's a lawbreaker right here. He likes to break the law, be careful. No, I don't answer to you.
Okay,
I'm free. You're dismissed.
I am not dismissed.
Yes, you are.
Who the fuck is at my window?
Do we enforce law around here or do we enforce will?
Who the fuck are you? Shining your lights in my window!
Okay, you need to leave.
I don't have
You're
to.
dismissed.
I'm not dismissed.
You are.
Actually, I think I'll do a foot patrol in this area.
Go ahead. Don't step on my property. You will be trespassing. Live here.
Lower your voice.
You need to leave my property. You are trespassing. You are trespassing. You're going to be going to jail. Follow the law. Sing, what's your name and badge number? Why are you harassing me? Oh, you did? Were you fucking blind the 5 times you drove by? Which one of you honked at me?
Maybe you can put your hands on me. You won't be needing the gloves, sir. You can take the gloves off. We don't need the gloves. Nobody needs to put their hands on me. And I do not need escorted.
Leave my property now. This is private property. You are trespassing. Leave now.
Do not walk on this fucking
What is
property.
your name?
On Thursday, October 17th, 2019, at approximately 4:30 p.m., the Defenders of Rights needed to bring an important message to the viewers and our fans about certain events that occurred on this day. Okay, here we are with a member of the Defenders of Rights, Mr. Abbott, Josh Abbott that is. Today is Thursday, October 17th, 2019, and we are going to discuss his probation meeting and how it went. It was today at 1:30.
2:30.
2:30, forgive me. Josh, explain that situation. What occurred with your probation officer? First, what is her name?
Her name is Shamika. I don't know her last name. It's I think maybe Banks or something like that.
But she works here in the Columbus,
She
Indiana
works here,
Republic.
yeah. She's a public official here. I got, when I went to jail, I got released on pre-trial release, and she is who I report to once a month, outside of going to my treatment and stuff like that. But we got through. She asked me how everything was going, and everything's good. And then right before it ends, she says, "One more thing I'd like to address," and that's she said, as far as your Defenders of Rights stuff goes. She said she's heard about it. She knows like what we're doing, and like it's all good and this and that. But she has been getting reports about my contact with the police. Now, as a being on this pre-trial release probation, pretty much. She said it's a rule that if you come in any contact with the police that you're supposed to let them know about it. Well, at first, I asked her, like whenever I first started going, I asked her, so I audit the police pretty much. And I said, do I have to, every time I come in contact with them, which is often, do I have to tell you about it? She says, anytime you're at a residence where they're called to, or in a car where you're pulled over with them and your name is ran, like if they run my name through the system, then that's what I'm to notify her, which this doesn't happen in any case. So yeah, and she said that she'd been getting reports, and I asked her, I said, so they've been writing reports and putting my name in them? She's like, no, because at the time there's nothing to put in these reports, as in I'm not breaking any laws when I'm doing this.
They, as in the police.
As
when
in
you
police,
go and
yes.
record the police, they've been going to her and complaining.
Someone's been going to her. Now you guys see how these police officers around here, they're all a bunch of nimwits. They, I don't see, anytime I ever run in with the police, they're going to run up to, oh, Josh is doing this, he's doing something that's constitutionally protected.
Not. Somebody high up.
Right, somebody, and that's what I'm saying. I think it's somebody that's higher up. That's because she said multiple times in this interview that everybody in the county watches this and they all talk about it and they know about it. And it's a conversation throughout the whole county as far as public officials who work in the county.
Really?
Yeah. And
every public official in this, in the Columbus, Indiana Republic is watching it.
And when she said it, her she's like, everybody, like it's something that is constantly, being driven into her head as far as a conversation that she's having with these people, as far as the topic of the conversation goes. And yeah, so she said that they're not writing reports, it's just someone's coming to her and telling her this, and she's, because I'm on pre-trial, if I were to get arrested for something where they would bring charges upon me, she said that, if that were to happen, they would serve a warrant on you while you're in jail, and I would sit in jail. As in, like, it's not just a 48-hour thing. Like, since I'm on this pretrial release, I'll go to jail and I'll stay there until I go back to court and this and that. And I said, and I tell her, I'm like, well, these videos, that we have the law in the videos, the Constitution's all part of it. I'm never acting outside of the law. Well, she just wanted to express her concern about it because she's been getting these reports about it.
Verbal reports.
So, verbal reports. So in my eyes, you can take it however you want. She's the messenger in this case. She's been talked to about this and that one specific point, but it's like, if they're not making reports about, as far as if there's no content for a report to be made, which means I'm not breaking any laws, why would me getting arrested arise up? Why would that become a part of it? I felt in a way like it was a threat from somewhere else. Maybe not from her specifically, but she was the messenger.
It's a threat, all right.
So, like, well, keep acting within the law, keep practicing your constitutionally protected activities, and you go to jail, and there'll be a warrant served on you, and this and this and that.
So for exercising your constitutional rights, they're going to arrest you and serve you a warrant for exercising your constitutional rights.
Right, because I'm never breaking the laws.
Oh,
when I'm
no,
doing
you're
this
not.
Stuff. Ever. And if, and sometimes it gets a little confrontational, but that's only because the police overstep their boundaries. I'm normally very, very respectful with these people.
That's in your nature.
And exactly.
Always
but
been respectful.
Until I'm given a reason to bite back, otherwise I won't. But every time they, how they act, guys. They're power hungry. They don't like being recorded. They don't like being told the law because they think they are the law.
Or like being held accountable
held accountable, right. So, and if it were the case, if there were a reason for me to get arrested at all, I already would have. Jessica already would have. We'd have already gone to jail on this thing. Here lately, the thing that's become a thing is their 150 feet rule. This statute, that is not even law, but that's what this is a lot of this is coming from. But there've been multiple occasions where they could have and should have arrested me if they knew for sure I was breaking the law, but they don't. They're being told to say this from somebody way up, just as she was told, or it was brought to her attention through somebody more up. So it's a lawyer, maybe a judge. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Chief of police, Sheriff Matt Myers,
right?
Somebody high up, definitely.
Right. And Sheriff Matt Myers was caught looking like a jackass here on the front porch anyway. So I'm just recording these public officials while they're acting out in their duties. It's the First Amendment for a reason. It's first. That's our duty to do this stuff. And this is why, because they're trying to shut us down at every single corner, and it's failing. So now they're threatening me with jail time and being arrested and having another warrant served on me while I'm in jail. And I'm complying with my pretrial release requirements. I'm going to treatment. I'm staying clean. But the one thing that I'm doing that they may not agree with is recording our public officials breaking the law, essentially. And maybe if they're not at the time, but once we get there, they do break the law. They try to turn a constitutionally protected right into a crime, and that's
completely against the law.
And that's the whole reason why we started in the first place, because that's just not going to fly, not by us.
That is how the Defenders of Rights started, because they were committing crimes and
right.
still are to this very day.
Right, and they're so arrogant and they think they're so above it that we're just going to stop. Especially threaten me with a little bit of jail time, dude. Come on.
Well, there's another story going around the Columbus, Indiana Republic, and that is a couple kids brought up the Defenders of Rights in a criminal law class at Columbus East High School.
In a high school.
So a teacher at Columbus East High School has been confronted with the Defenders of Rights, and students have been watching the Defenders of Rights, and they asked if we, the Defenders of Rights, were correct in asserting the law and exercising our rights. And so what did the teacher respond back with?
Teacher said something to this effect, as in they're going off the old law. I don't know what the old law, if she's referring to the old document as far as the Constitution and the Bill of Rights goes. That's when did that become old, unacceptable law? The Indiana State Code, we put that in there, and we in all the laws, case law and everything. We're not just doing this blindly. We're going at this in a very educated way to where it can't be challenged. It is what it is. It's
cannot be rebutted.
Right. If you're like a Christian, you don't go against the word. It is what it is.
And the law enforcement teacher also said that every member of the Defenders of Rights was on crack and meth, and we're just a bunch of drug heads and don't know what the hell we're talking about.
And I will say that's why in the first place, that's why I ended up on probation anyhow. That's why I'm on probation. That's why I went to jail, because yes, I was
struggled with addiction.
I was knee deep, neck deep in an addiction. I got caught up, and I got caught with my stuff, and I owned it. I'm taking it. It's mine. I'm taking my lumps.
And that's why you accepted the probation deal.
Right. And that's why I'm going through with all this. But it's a great thing. It's a God bless, because now I'm sober. Now I'm clean. Now I can't. Who was I to run around and bark at the police for breaking the law while I am doing the same thing in my own sense?
Amen.
Not just doing that, but
just being
hurting all those around me and stuff. So yeah, I took my lumps. You know what? And I own it 100%. So is that what somebody who practices that goes by the law and the Constitution and tries to educate their fellow citizens, their fellow brethren, is that what everyone is labeled as? Who's that challenges authority? Crackheads, meth heads, drug addicts? Is that what all we amount to? And apparently that's just crazy. They're demonizing it just the way they do everything else that goes against the grain. And honestly, it's an honor. Count me in.
Amen. We wanted to address these stories, give them to you viewers to let you know. We're going to leave some phone numbers up on the screen. The courthouse, the Sheriff's Department number, the Columbus Police Department number.
Call them, let them know about it. Let them know how you feel. Because they already know how we feel. We do this. It's an everyday job for us.
This is definitely needing other voices, such as yours.
We love you guys. We appreciate you.
Every single day do we appreciate you. We never believed we would have gotten to this extent, this far. So it's all because of you guys.
All because of you guys. Even the public officials in this county that go ahead and give us some clicks and view our stuff. Thank you. We love you too. We know you're watching.
All right. The Defenders of Rights. Out.
The very next day after this recording, on Friday, October 18th, 2019, at approximately 10:20 p.m., the Defenders of Rights have another important message to inform the viewers and fans about.
Okay, here we are. It is Friday, October 18th, 2019, at approximately 10:20 p.m., and we are going to discuss what occurred today. Just yesterday, Josh was talking about what his probation officer had mentioned to him during a probation meeting. It was not an idle threat, but it was a threat. Threat under using force.
As of today, it's obvious that that's exactly what it was.
And this is why we're recording this after today. Just today, Jessica went to go take care of some business at the police department here in Columbus, and she was trying to obtain the public records request forms, because we have been communicating with Lisa Williams, who is in charge of the public records department at the Columbus Police Department, and she said that we had the records requests were ready. When Jessica went, the next thing you know, she was being arrested by Officer Coomer. I'm going to let her explain this, and this occurred around 4:15 p.m. today on Friday, October 18th, 2019. Jessica, let's go through. As soon as you arrived at the Columbus Police Department, you go inside, and you are confronted with a public official. Her name wasn't Melissa, it was another lady.
The first lady that I ever dealt with that we had on recorder.
Okay.
Recorded. And immediately she didn't even ask what it was I was needing. She automatically just said, Lisa isn't here today and I'm not dealing with your case, so you'll have to come back and talk to Lisa. I was like, okay, well, I sent her an email. She hasn't emailed me back. She said my records requests were ready. And I was wanting to discuss the price, because they said that the price was going to be $150 per CD. And the statute says that they cannot, that they can charge for the actual cost. That's the only thing they can charge, because we're exercising rights, the Freedom of Information Act. And the only thing that they can charge is for the actual cost. It says that cannot exceed $150. Well, they're telling me that my CD-ROMs at each video is going to be $150 for my records request. So whenever I went there, I was trying to obtain my records request, as well discuss the pricing and let them know that they cannot charge over the actual cost. And I was letting her know that I want to get a write-up. I want to somewhat get a receipt as to how they come to $150. What are they charging me? What is it that consists of $150? Like I said, they can only charge the actual cost, meaning if they're giving me the information on a CD, they can only charge me the actual cost of the CD. It says in the statute they cannot charge for labor, they cannot charge overhead fees. So that's all. I was simply going there was to try to get my records request. I was, instead of having them put it on CDs, I was going to bring a USB drive, and I was going to go back and inspect the records myself. And whenever I got in there, I wasn't even allowed to express what I was there for. The woman, she kept cutting me off, telling me that Lisa's not here. And I said, well, don't you work at the records department? Can I speak to you about this? Can you write a note and let her know that I showed up? I'm here for this purpose and what the purpose is. She kept rolling her eyes, interrupting me, and she said, okay, whatever. So I asked her, why is she being so rude? And she started putting the paper up. I'm not sure what happened, but I asked the officer if I could get some assistance because I needed some public assistance, and the lady that was there wasn't exactly assisting me. And all he did was shout and say, Jessica, you need to go. She said you can come back Monday. So I went to the officer's window and I was like, okay, what time on Monday? I'm here today. I don't know when she's going to be here Monday. I don't know her schedule. You know, if I have to be here when Lisa's here, let me know when that is. I don't know what time Monday. And
Who was the officer at the window?
Officer Coomer. He interrupted me. He said that I needed to leave again. So I said, okay, I need to get your name and your badge number. And I said that I also wanted to get the woman at the other window. I wanted to get her name and identification number. He immediately just started walking out of around the office and was about to come out to the door. So I said, under threat, duress, and coercion, I will leave. And as I was backing up and trying to walk out, he grabbed me and used excessive force. Yeah, my arm went completely numb, started tingling.
And he arrested you, unlawfully arrested you.
Unlawfully for simply asking questions. I was in a public space. You cannot force someone to leave unless they've committed a crime. So he created a crime as disorderly conduct. I asked him multiple times, what did I do that was disorderly? I asked him to articulate, what happened, what am I being charged with, what
crime did you commit?
What was the actual crime, what did I do? He also said I was passively resisting arrest. At the scene, there was another officer present. I can't remember who that was, but they said that there were multiple officers were rolling. I was told at the scene I was not going to be charged with resisting. He said that I was passively resisting, whatever that means, I don't know. That's not even a legal term.
And of course, you mentioned the fact that he shut off the camera.
Yes, and he shut off the camera. I turned, while he was trying to arrest me, I turned the camera around while it was on the chair so it could face me and face the officer. And he reached over, because since I faced it towards us, he reached over and shut the camera off. He said he was taking it for evidence. I told him that that's tampering with evidence then. He cannot shut off my camera, and he cannot do anything of the sort. That would be tampering with evidence. So he shut the camera off so I could not get the entire arrest. But he was using excessive force. He did hurt my arm.
And this was Officer Coomer, in which we just posted a video of Officer Coomer 6 days ago.
The Defenders of Rights are honored to remind everyone who Officer Coomer is. His criminal acts are revealed in the video titled Corrupt Cops Responding to Noise Disturbance. Let's see who this corrupt thug is specifically.
Above the law. Here he is. How you doing, officer? Doing good.
Officer Coomer, badge number 248.
Being safe tonight?
Yep. How about you?
I'm doing just good, officer. I'm doing fine. Is this normal to park like that? What's the difference between having your lights on or just parking the right way?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, why couldn't you just park normal? What's this have to do with a call being made? So you can park however when you respond to a call? You don't have your emergency lights on. I mean, shouldn't you if it was like... No? So if I get a call, my mom calls me, I can park however I want to? But I could get in trouble for parking like this.
You're right, you can.
Okay. Alright, sir. You have a good night. Be safe.
Thanks, Mr. Rabbit.
He called me Mr. Abbott.
And now there's another officer here.
Yes.
You saw someone walking with a flashlight. Is that illegal?
It is not, but it's suspicious activity.
Oh,
and
is
I have
it?
a due diligence
What's
to
suspicious
investigate.
activity?
People between houses with flashlights. I'm allowed
Really?
to check
Is that
out.
a
I never
misdemeanor?
entered anyone's
Is that a
property.
misdemeanor or a
It's not
felony?
a misdemeanor, But
Then
it
it's
is
not suspicious activity.
Yes,
No,
it is.
suspicious activity is illegal.
Define it
illegal
for me.
activity.
No, it's not.
It's an illegal activity.
No, it's
yes.
not. It can be suspicious and not illegal. It is my due diligence to figure
No,
out whether or
it's
not
not.
it's illegal or not.
You need to learn the law.
Do I?
Yes,
think you do.
suspicious activity is when something's illegal.
Do you have an ID on you?
I don't have to have an ID on me. Do you, what's your name and badge number?
Officer Coomer, badge number's 248. What's your name?
You don't need to know my name.
I do need to know it.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't need to know my
Yes,
name.
I do. You failing to comply with the lawful order?
Is it against the law?
Yes, it is.
Here's what I'll do.
Is this a stop and identify state?
I don't know. You tell me.
You need probable cause. You need
actually
probable
not
cause.
probable cause.
You have requirements you need to meet,
Yeah, we've met him.
like probable cause. Where's your reasonable suspicion?
Right, like I just
What's your
said.
name?
I can do what I can
Like
dance in a
just said,
circle for hours.
Reasonable
Ask you one more
suspicion
time,
is
I'm
when
gonna
you're
put your
walking
handcuffs.
between.
I can do whatever I want.
Okay, that's fine.
And if it's not legal, that means it's not reasonable
What's your name?
suspicion.
You
Okay,
tell
I
me
don't
you're
think
going
you
in the
understand the
handcuffs.
definition of reasonable suspicion.
I don't think you understand it.
As you just witnessed, Officer Coomer feels as though he's above the law and has threatened to unlawfully arrest Jessica before. On October 18th, 2019, a day before Jessica's birthday, Officer Coomer unlawfully arrested Jessica out of retaliation for holding him accountable to the law. He will face justice for the multiple crimes he has knowingly and willfully committed. Let's get back to the video, shall we?
I did, when I got there, pretty much I couldn't even explain to them why I was there, because the lady pretty much just kept interrupting me and telling me there was nothing she could do because Lisa wasn't there. She had no information to give me or anything like that. So I was simply telling her, okay, well, let's write this note down. Let's give her my information, why I'm here. And that's all I was trying to do. There was no, the lady behind the desk, she didn't raise her voice. I didn't raise my voice. There was no argument. There was nothing that I can come up with that would, why he would say it was disorderly conduct. He pretty much what it was, he wanted me to leave, and by law, he cannot force me to leave a public place unless I've committed a crime, so he created that crime.
So he committed the crime and obviously unlawfully arrested you and unlawfully imprisoned you. He took you to jail, correct?
Yes.
And you mentioned the fact that there was a detective throughout this whole time. And,
Yes, there's a detective there. I got his card somewhere.
and he acted as, he was playing
Sure.
the good cop role.
Yes. He was trying to be friendly, trying to act like he was being helpful. Maybe he is a good cop, maybe not. I don't know. They were trying to get me to make a statement for the record. They wanted me to record a statement. They wanted to record me speaking, I guess, on my behalf of what happened. I told them I would like to not do that. I'd rather just go by the camera. Obviously, the camera has everything. So there's nothing else to explain from my side of the story. And it was just it was a book and release.
Everybody else was nice. You said all the other public officials, officers
Yeah,
were
the
nice.
other public officials, they were all pretty
Who
nice.
stopped by while you were in the holding cell?
Oh, Matt Myers, the sheriff. I was in
I'm
the
a
holding
sheriff!
cell. Yes, exactly.
Sheriff Matt Myers pays Jessica a visit while she is unlawfully imprisoned in the Bartholomew County Jail. He did this out of spite because the defenders of rights held him accountable to the law as well. Sheriff Myers got out of hand, which you can see for yourself in the video titled Sheriff Myers Trespasses with 6 Corrupt Cops, Criminals with Badges. Let's check out a few clips of that video.
I'm the sheriff, 3-1.
Sheriff Myers, badge number 31.
I'm the one that called them here to back me up.
Yeah, but they were all on my property.
No, they're staying right here.
Okay, they were right here. I
I'm
just
on your
witnessed
property.
them.
I'm
And
investigating.
you need to get off my property.
I'm investigating.
You're trespassing,
Look,
sir.
Hey, I'm looking for somebody
You're
wanted.
trespassing.
I'm looking for somebody wanted.
And are they connected to that vehicle?
We believe they could be connected to that vehicle. Yes.
Why? Because it's a blue Honda? Did they give that plate number? What other
right now.
reason? No,
They- they
exactly.
didn't give
So it's not that fucking Honda.
Is that your car?
Yeah. And I'm gonna answer your questions. Then leave. Don't come on my property
leave
and
when I'm ready
tell.
to leave.
No, you will not.
Yes, I
You're
will.
trespassing.
I'm looking
Just
for-
so you know, my channel has
I don't
thousands
care.
and thousands
I
of
don't care. I'm looking for
subscribers.
somebody wanted, and I have every right to
This
be
is
here.
the main sheriff, guys,
That's
of the
exactly
department.
right.
The main,
Of
the top guy.
of the sheriff's
Look,
office.
CPD already knows. They already knows who the defenders of rights
Now,
are. They're leaving.
you do not-
They don't want to be embarrassed. Can I get
You
your
do
name
not
and badge
know-
numbers?
You do not know.
They don't want to be embarrassed. They already
You do
know.
not know Maggie.
I don't know fucking Maggie. I told you that while you're banging on my door. fucking intimidating and scaring my kids.
Hey.
This is what's wrong with law enforcement.
Answer the door.
I don't have to answer the door.
Listen, Andrea.
My right to stay in my door,
Listen.
to stay in my
Listen,
home.
pal.
Who are you? I don't even
I'm
know
the
who you
sheriff.
are.
I'm the sheriff.
Let me see your name. Let me see your badge. Anybody can buy that. That's what, $3 off online?
I'm the
Who the
sheriff.
fuck are you?
I just told you.
So, guess what? I could be a
Got all
sheriff
the police
too.
cars out here.
I could tell everybody I'm a sheriff. I don't give a shit.
And I don't.
They commit crimes.
Listen,
I've caught.
listen.
Check out my channel. I have
care.
caught them committing crimes, and you were just committing a crime.
Listen, I don't care anything about
Trying to
your channel.
intimidate me.
I don't care anything about your
You
channel.
should, because there's a clear disconnect between officers and the people they work for, and there needs to be a fucking connection.
I asked you a question.
No, you are banging
Is
on my
that-
fucking door.
It's becoming more evident that the public officials in the Columbus, Indiana Republic and all across the United States of America could commit crimes with impunity. There's more to the Sheriff Myers recording that you don't want to miss, so please go check it out if you haven't already seen it. But Sheriff Myers only visited the jail to go see Jessica so he could insult her, belittle her out of retaliation. Jessica is about to explain what occurred, so let's get back to the video, shall we?
I was in the holding cell. One of the officers had already come by and done the checks because the window is covered up. Now they have the windows completely covered up so no one can see out the room and no one can see in. One officer already came around, opened the window to check on everybody, and about 5 to 7 minutes later, someone else, as I can hear them opening up the window to check, and it was Matt Myers. He looks at me and he says, "Oh, hey, it's you!" Acting like he's so surprised. He clearly knew I was there. He wanted to come antagonize me and kind of just throw it in my face. He wanted to see me in a cage, is what it was. He wanted to see for himself that I was in a cage, because obviously, I think he enjoyed it.
Obviously. Let's discuss what happened 2 hours before you were arrested, Jessica.
Okay, 2 hours before I was arrested, as soon as I got home from being in jail, my parents called me and told me that the police were at their house today.
Specifically who?
There was at least 4 or 5 vehicles, and that they were there looking for Jonathan. They claimed that they had a tip, saying that he was maybe there, possibly. I don't know where that tip came from. They didn't explain anything else. But they also went to neighbors at my parents' house. They went to their neighbors, and they asked them questions, showed them pictures of Jonathan to see if they knew who he was or if they've seen him there. And they also asked if they can set up trail cameras for hunters.
Trail cameras.
So that they could try to, I guess, watch my parents' house and see whenever Johnson, if he does show up there. All the neighbors obviously said that no, he hadn't been there because he hadn't.
So the
Drake Maddox.
so the main officer.
Drake Maddox was the main officer speaking to my mother.
Officer Maddox. Oh, Officer Maddox. Let's just say this is a criminal and a corrupt cop with a huge ego and has everything to lose. So many of our friends and neighbors have told us their experiences and run-ins with Officer Maddox. He has committed enough crimes to put him behind bars for the rest of his life. Officer Maddox appeared in one of the first videos recorded by the Defenders of Rights, titled Memorial Day. Let's check out a few clips of that video.
Who the fuck is at my window? Who the fuck are you? Shining your lights in my windows. Who are you? Address yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? This is private property.
Officer Maddox, badge number 256.
Who are you? What is your name?
No.
This is private property. I don't have to come outside. Who are you and why are you here? Why are you here?
Where's Jonathan?
Jonathan isn't here. Jonathan doesn't live here.
Lower your voice.
You need to leave my property. You are trespassing.
Around the fucking yard
You
for?
are
No, don't
trespassing.
shoot me.
Leave my
What are you
property
doing walking around
now.
in the fucking yard for?
This is private property. You are trespassing.
Without a
Leave
warrant,
now.
you do not walk on this fucking
What is
property.
your name?
You two.
What is your
Badge
name?
name.
I need your name
You guys
and
got
your badge
badge
number.
numbers?
No reason making that reasonable noise.
No, you are on private property.
Private
This
trespassing.
is illegal.
Girl. Dude, brush your teeth. Oh, really? Really?
Illegal. What's your name?
Yeah, badge numbers, names. You guys have to give us those.
Trespassing.
Badge numbers and names.
This is private property. You are trespassing. Who is this man on my private property?
Okay, so names and badges.
Why are you here? No, you're not done. This is private property. I don't care who you are. This is private property. You do not shine lights in my windows. This is private property. There are children in this home, and you are putting them in fear of police. You are putting them in fear of the policemen. This is what's wrong with law enforcement.
Having a fucking good time, aren't you? Having a good fucking time.
This is what's wrong with the law enforcement. You should be held. You're going to be held accountable.
Officer Maddox, along with his fellow criminal officers, will have their day in court for their criminal acts. Until then, the defenders of rights will continue to protect and defend their neighbors and themselves from these corrupt thugs. Let's get back to the video, shall we?
Asking to come in, asking if he can look around, and they were in plain clothes. There was not a uniformed officer. They were driving a black and white. There was a couple undercover vehicles, black and white. I know that they said there was at least 4 or 5 vehicles out there, all for a driving while suspended.
Wow.
And this seems like a lot of intimidation and retaliation.
That's exactly what has occurred, was retaliation.
And these records requests that we are requesting, they are not just for us. They are going to be going on the channel. They're for everyone that is interested and everybody that likes to watch our channel. These records requests are not just for us. They're for the public. If you guys want to redress your grievances and figure out why we haven't got these public records, you guys can call. You can, also, they're trying to charge us $150 per CD, and they can only charge the actual cost.
Per
They've
DVD.
already said that.
Oh, and also, I just want to note the way the sheriff came by and opened it. I was in the Bartholomew County Jail from June 5th to August 22nd, and not one time, not one day, not one hour that I was in there was a sheriff in there making rounds. This went over radio. They were all talking about it. They got it because the detective even said something to her
Said
about
I was a hometown celebrity.
Right, and even my probation officer said everybody's watching this, everybody in the county watches it, and that's evident now. So so what? The sheriff, he hears something over the radio and he comes by just to say hi because he looks like a complete idiot, jackass, moron, drunk. Something was up with him. You know what I mean? And then they wait till Jessica's by herself, and then they arrest her, not to downgrade, her sex or anything.
And he did use excessive force.
But the woman in our group, they wait till she's by herself, and you know what I mean? Because they've had plenty of chances to do this otherwise. Real tough assholes.
Yeah.
Fucking tough.
Agreed. Real fucking tough.
They could not articulate why I was being arrested. They could only tell me disorderly conduct. I have no idea what it was that I did that they considered disorderly conduct. I don't know if they don't like me asking for their names and badge number. I'm not sure what it was, but they could not articulate why I was being arrested, what the disorderly conduct was.
Unlawfully arrested.
Nor could they articulate what I was resisting. They said that it was a passive resist.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I don't think that's
Can
even
anybody
legal.
maybe comment on this and let us know what passively, is that like...
Passively resisting arrest.
What is that? Is there any of you cops that watch this? Because, you're out there. We love you guys.
Oh, I asked Officer, I think Weaver, was it Weaver, the redhead?
Yes,
I
Officer
asked
Weaver.
him what passively resisting was. He said that is just resisting.
That's right. Officer Weavers was also part of that unlawful arrest today.
He transported me. He was the one that transported me, who was not there on scene when everything happened, but he did show up there awfully quick.
That's Carrot Top, the one who left his car parked in the road down here for like over an hour, if you know what I mean, and then somebody dropped him off. And
Officer Weavers is another officer who's truly a good man, but refuses to act when he's under a duty to act, which is also a crime. He's an accessory to his fellow officers' crimes. Let's look at a few video clips involving Officer Weavers.
That fella's right here. What are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I can help you.
No, I was just asking what you're doing. How you doing?
Not bad.
Not bad? Good? Sitting around?
Sitting around?
Is this your job?
It's my job.
Is it?
Yep.
Okay. Got any ID on you?
No.
No. What's that mean? What's your name and badge number? What's your name and badge number?
What can I help you?
Officer Weavers, badge number 270.
What's your name and badge number? No, I just heard about some suspicious activity in the area. Wanted to see if.
It's all good. I'm here, so there's no.
What's your name and badge number, sir?
Officer Weaver, Police Department. Badge number 270.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, sir. You have a good day.
Wonderful day. You too, man.
Don't cause no trouble now. Stop wasting money. Turn the damn car off. You don't have any markers up. You don't have any markers up. Where's your tape at? Do you know the code? Okay, articulate that code for me right now. Articulate the code for me. I'm just doing my job, bro. Ain't you? Do you know that code off the top of your head, sir? I'm not wrong. No, I'm not asking him. I know the code. I'm just asking him to articulate it for me. It's my question. You enforce the law and you're saying something you don't know what you're saying. Is that your guys' MO? You enforce will, not law around here? Is that it? We got will enforcers around here. Don't know the laws they enforce. It's pretty sad, you know. Fellas, stay safe.
Everybody in the CPD, they all know this address. They know who's here.
I've never talked to you.
They know who's here.
I've never talked to you.
Your department has been here and has acted exactly like you. Well, now you have. Y'all have.
Okay.
Y'all came here and fucking harassed
I'm
me.
looking for somebody.
For no fucking reason.
Somebody possibly that could have overdosed is no reason.
What? You're banging on my door, then why wouldn't you tell me that? You're banging on my door. You didn't give me a chance. You're banging on my door. I'm like, what the fuck is you doing? Come outside. Come outside.
I'm telling you now.
Oh, great. Well, maybe we should go look for the person overdosing.
Well, I'm going to now.
Instead of stepping on my property and continuing to intimidate me.
But the investigation led to here. That's why I'm here.
Well, there wasn't much evidence led to here. They didn't.
How do you know what evidence?
They didn't even give you a. They didn't give you a license plate.
How do you know what
You
evidence?
said it was a blue Honda.
How do you know what evidence I have?
You said it was a blue.
How do you know what evidence?
Let's hear it.
I don't have to tell you.
Every public official in the Columbus, Indiana Republic, like Officer Weavers, have been implicated into the tort claims because they are aware of the crimes committed by their fellow public officials and still have done nothing about it. The defenders of rights aren't seeking revenge for the crimes committed by their public officials. They stand for justice. They defend the law and protect the rights of the people. These public officials only represent a system based solely on corruption. These recordings only exist because the defenders of rights were violated by their public officials. So, the defenders of rights are not to blame for these heinous crimes. It's the corrupt public officials in the Columbus, Indiana Republic who's to blame. Anyways, let's get back to the video, shall we?
So we have multiple officers who we have dealt with on a consistent basis appearing in the last 2 days. Threats, unlawful arrests, unlawful imprisonments, going over and intimidating family members.
How can I confidently go back? I still haven't received my records request. I wasn't able to. I was there for maybe about 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes time.
We've been going through this for months now.
At least 4 months. We've been trying to get these records
Since
requests.
June 7th, 2019, we've been asking for the same public records request, and we filed the forms and everything, and it's now well over 4 months, beyond the reasonable time needed to be able to obtain those and give them to us. So it's already a lawsuit.
And how can I confidently go back to that police department and try to get my records request since I did not commit a crime today?
Without the fear of being arrested.
I was arrested, yeah. How can I confidently go back trying to access my records request in fear of being arrested unlawfully? How am I going to be able to do that? How can I go back with the confidence in our public servants? I can't. I have no confidence in them.
Surprised I didn't tell you because you weren't 150 feet away from the police station.
Yeah. And these public records requests are also evidence of crimes that they refuse to investigate themselves on. And we've approached them multiple times and confided in them and notified them that they have officers who have committed crimes. You all need to investigate. They need to be arrested, indicted, all of that. And they refuse to do so. So we have to take it upon ourselves to act as Sixth Amendment counsel, to act as our own counselors, our own private attorney generals and approach this and take care of it. So these record requests that we're requesting is evidence of crimes committed by public officials here in the Columbus, Indiana Republic. So it's not just exercising our rights, it's also
Due process.
It's also due process of law. Precisely. It's also taking care of crimes. It's also an investigation.
That they won't investigate, so obviously, we have to. And it's you guys all watch this channel. I'm talking to the Columbus Police Department, the sheriffs, the COs over there. You guys ought to be extremely ashamed of yourselves. You guys are a disgrace to police all over this country. And fuck you, pretty much, is what I have to say about that. Come get some.
Okay, we wanted to let the public know, you guys, our viewers, our fans, what is going on. This is very important. Obviously, they have taken our property, so they are actually...
They stole my camera without a warrant. They did not give me my camera back. They stole it. They said they're putting it into evidence, and they did not give it back. I asked for a warrant for them to be able to obtain that and take it from me. They did not have a warrant. They said they're using it for investigation purposes. If that's the case, then they would have to get a warrant. For investigative purposes, they would need to get a warrant.
So everybody who's located in the Indiana Republic across the United States, we need assistance, and any way you can. Calling, even redressing your grievances, works out perfect. Comments, likes, sharing these videos, subscribing, all of this is what's going to help. We got to help each other. This is why we made this video. To inform, to educate, and to help others. You guys have anything to say before we shut this down?
Love you, Long Dong.
Yeah, and for all you public officials out there, you are going down for the crimes you have committed. Jonathan Abbott is an innocent man. Joshua Abbott is an innocent man. Jessica Garris is an innocent woman. Their families and friends and neighbors are innocent. And yet you still tend to violate their rights, intimidate them, coerce them, place them under duress, defame their character and their name. No more. Alright, the Defenders of Rights, over and out.